Hello, and this is the Warpforge with another 350 rep bat match tournament. Again, it is the mission with Nora. And in this game, it's Mr.Freeze versus Black Mask. So, the objective, well, not the objectives, the strategies for Mr.Freeze was Ice Area, Maps, and Fast Advance. Because we each had strategists, because Reaper is strategist and Captain Cold is a strategist. We both have 4 strategy points under our belts, so we were allowed to take them. And my opponent, who's playing Black Mask this time, used the One Night to Kill the Bat strategy, the Under Pressure strategy, and the Tunnel strategy. In the tunnels, he has Suicide Squad's Captain Boomerang. As we can see here, quite a happy chap over there, sitting in his sewer, probably going to throw a load of boomerangs down, because that's what he does best. So the narrative for the game is Black Mask is doing as usual, trading deals. He has a load of cars here that he's wanting to trade with a few young'uns, a few young gangsters, and he also has a Nora to trade as well, which is his prized possession, which he's selling for quite a bit. Now obviously, because this is Mr. Freeze's life, and for a cryogenically frozen woman, she does get around a lot. Freeze isn't really happy with this, so he's decided to bust the trade. So, can Victor Freeze bust Roman Sionis's trade? We will see after turn 1. Okay, so turn 1 of the game. So, as you can see over here, everyone just moved up. Frost moved from here to here. They're wanting to intercept Reaper because I do not want Reaper close to us. I may not have the damage output to kill him in a turn, unless I literally conglomerate all my gang onto him. But what I can do is slow him down. I can use Stop to halt him, I can use Ice Flash to halt him. He can be stopped. So maybe it's not about killing him, but maybe slowing him down. And then obviously, I think my big damage dealer really is Captain Cold here. So we'll see what the Frost and Cold combo can do. We've got Snowy 1, he literally just moved up, got into a nice position, so I can fire at any of the occupants over here. Snowy 3 basically moved up down here. Just moved around because he couldn't sprint through the ammo. Waiting for a good counter charge. And prisoner number 1, I believe, the tube prisoner over here, basically got the he got the loot. Manipulate the loot for free because he has handyman, which will be shown in the list description, because he has engineer training, because he's a mechanic, because the tube and all that. So that was basically the movement for Freeze and Black Mask. Easter egg, can you spot all the hobos? So obviously he tried, he moved, he couldn't get to the loot in time, so he didn't get the loot. As you can see, everyone just moved, no one really fired, no one really attacked. As you can see, frozen template, which will be seen in the strategies section, well, as I've just talked about before. These guys just basically moved, probably trying to intercept the guys underneath. Obviously, tube prisoner's just going to fall back. He's going to run, run, Forrest, run. So, that was turn 1. Turn 2, turn 1, Black Mask took the lead, and turn 2, Black Mask takes the lead. So now it's all about raising that plan and executing that phase. So, we'll see you after turn 2. Okay, so turn 2, and it's been very interesting. Snowy 1 was the last miniature to activate. He moved 10, but apparently I forgot to put in 2 counters into attack. So Boomerang was my opponent's last miniature. He basically popped out the sewer, fired at Captain Boomerang. Not Captain Boomerang. Captain Cold. 2 captains, okay. 2 captains, and Captain Cold received no hits, so he's fine. Captain Cold tried to fire at full rate of fire against Reaper, as Reaper moved in. Killer Frost stopped him because he moved 20 and he was about to move 6, but using the halt trait, basically stopped him. Or the stop trait basically stopped him in his tracks. Cold hit once out of a full rate of fire of 2, then failed to damage on a roll of 1. Snowy 2 moved, fired into the Goon, the Mule Goon. The Mule Goon failed the 4-up ping roll for a wall, and managed to suffer 1 blood damage, no crit effects. Freeze moved. Well, Freeze was the biggest blunder this turn. He was supposed to sprint, but didn't leave enough counters on him, so he moved 17 and he's literally there, as you can see. The bodyguard goon literally moved up, so he's within range of Freeze. Snowy 3 and Snowy 5 moved up to contest the objective on Reaper, as you can see here. So, hang on. Reaper, there we go. So yeah, he's currently contested. Nora's contested. These guys just moved over here. And as predicted, prisoner number 1 basically moved and ran back. He was a handyman to keep hold of the loot. 21 centimeters. So I rolled a 1 for the dice rolls of movement. These guys just moved. Black Mask just kind of moved. There were 2 riddle markers that were successfully taken on a roll of a 4 and 5. So basically, my opponent gains 2 victory points this turn. Bodyguard prisoner is literally, well, not bodyguard prisoner, but a guy with crossed arms literally contesting the objective here. And I believe that is turn 2. So we're about to see who takes turn 3 because, as I've said, Black Mask took the lead in turn 2. So turn 3. Okay, so Freeze took the lead in turn 3 and it's been quite interesting. So Snowy 1, with the combined efforts of Killer Frost, stopped Captain Boomerang. He shot at Captain Boomerang, hit, then did no damage. Full rate of fire as well. Mr.Freeze was the first to activate. He ice flashed Reaper over there, and then moved a bit out of the fists of the Mule Goon. The Mule Goon tried to move in pursuit, but Frost used the stop halt trait on him to stop him from moving. Snowy 5 took some hits from Mesh and didn't really do anything. Snowy 3 tried to hit all 3 times with 3 counters on... No, 2 counters on attack, since he lost 1 due to lossage of willpower, which we'll go into in a moment, and then failed to damage, because obviously defense 4 being Reaper is now on defense 2. But Captain Cold did fire into Reaper and did 4 blood damage, so that's an awful lot. So Captain Cold also used Order to swap out some counters on this guy, and Snowy 2 basically just ran and then moved 1 d6 of 3 centimeters up here. This Black Mask Goon did nothing apart from sit and contest loot, ammo. Mesh, as I've said, already fired into Snowy 5 and dealt 3 blood damage. This guy basically picked up loot, so now it's at 1 victory point a turn. Obviously this combat got interesting. Snowy 3 is now overwhelmed by 3 models, did a load of damage, suffering on Snowy 3 for blood damage, yes. In addition to the combined shooting from Mesh. Black Mask came over, tried to fire a grenade right into Freeze, but failed to hit. This guy basically held onto the loot and moved towards the ammo box to contest, whilst this prisoner of the smoke grenade who fired it last turn, and it really didn't do anything. So basically he's going to intercept him and see what happens next turn. So all in all, pretty level at the moment. It's just a case of seeing what happens. So we'll go on to turn 4. Turn 4, and Black Mask takes the lead. So what happened in this turn? Well, it's been an interesting turn. Through the combined efforts of a load of henchmen and Black Mask, Snowy 3 and 5 are dead. Snowy 3 and 5 really didn't do anything. Killer Frost managed to stop... should have used stop on Captain Boomerang in the sewer. Oh well. Frost is stopped Anatoly and stopped the Mule Goon and stopped the Reaper. Cold fired his last normal cold gun shot at Reaper, knocking him out. Freeze ice flashed Reaper, so that it was easier for Captain Cold to hit, and the bodyguard prisoner literally moved out the way so that Freeze can maybe do something next turn. And Anatoly over here just moved, ran over, tried to hit hit a few times with Captain Cold, failed to damage. The dice rolls have been very interesting in this game. Snowy 1 fired into Captain Boomerang, who now is in the sewer and managed to do blood and stun damage. Snowy 2 over here basically ran up and just moved to the side. The guy that was contesting the ammo crate has now moved up next towards ammo dose, and Mesh, I believe, fired and killed one of, I think it was Snowy 5, Snowy 3, if I'm honest. Again, combined effort to kill 2 guys. Very hard, very tough, very durable. Over here we have the engineer who kept hold of his loot and just moved to contest and then crouched. Right now he is knocked down because the guy basically fired, then moved, managed to block one of the 3 rate of fires, and then he took in a few bits of damage and also got an equal pairing result on the collateral damage table, forcing him to get knocked down. So now we're on to turn 5, and turn 5 is going to be very, very interesting. So see you in turn. Okay, so turn 5. Turn 5 was Mr. Freeze's turn. So, turn 5, and what happened? Well, Black Mask fired, didn't do anything. Mesh walked up next to Black Mask. As you can see, nothing really. Well, okay, yes. Reaper is now dead. What happened was he was knocked out. I've ice flashed the Mule Goon, and then used the refrigeration arm cannon on Mr. Freeze to fire at all these 3 guys, and nothing really happened because Freeze failed to damage on every single one. The bodyguard prisoner, however, had 1 attack. He went in, walked in, hit on 2s, damaged on 5s, converted 1 blood damage for a coup de grace, and killed Reaper. He now is on willpower 5 because of the criminal rule. An oversight on my part, I should have moved Killer Frost 10 centimeters in base contact with this guy, because if I did, I would have got 3 victory points from Nora this turn. However, I didn't, so I shan't. Or shan't, so I didn't. So, all in all, that's contested. This little thing happened over here. Rate of fire 1, the pistol guy fired into Tube Prisoner and failed to hit. Needing 2s to hit and rolled a 1. This guy fired a full rate of fire, his last full rate of fire into Irwin, and managed to get 2 hits, 2 damage, 2 blood, 2 stun, and a knockdown with the matching pair of collateral damage dice. Snowy 2 basically sprint up here, and we'll have to go over to Captain Boomerang. Captain Cold. There's so many captains on this board. I know it's only 2, but still gives the benefit of the doubt. So, he tried to attack Cold, failed with all his hits. Cold ran. Just ran. He knows it's not worth it. So, we need to go on to turn 6, and Freeze takes lead in this turn. Okay, so a bitly fought turn 6, yeah. So, Freeze basically ice flashed the Mule Goon and then sprayed his fire, knocking out Irwin and dealing 2 blood damage to this guy. Frost tried to attack, and so did the bodyguard prisoner, tried to attack this guy with the double knives in base contact with Nora, and failed to do anything. In return, this guy failed to do anything back against Frost. Irwin's knocked out. This guy decided to try and contest not with this guy, to contest Nora. Successfully contested. Anatoly moved up and tried to attack Freeze and failed to hit. Mule Goon here has just been stopped and frozen all game. Poor Mule Goon. Captain Cold just ran up and moved up. Snowy 2 got to the ammo crate, but unfortunately the guy with the Black Mask Goon with the brass knuckles contested the objective. Tried to hit, swing, did nothing. And Black Mask just kind of stood there being a marker for no mercy. Captain Boomerang popped up, tried to hit he did hit the guy and knocked him out. The other guy tried to hit him and did nothing. So Captain Boomerang knocked out the tube prisoner, but the prisoner with the smoke grenade and the gun failed to attack. So, all in all, the results stack, the victory points are calculated, and Freeze has 11 victory points. Black Mask has exactly 11 victory points. So this is a game that has ended in a draw. So thanks to my opponent for playing. It's been a pleasure as always. And yeah, thoughts. I'm thinking about changing Frost. I like the Cold Warriors, but after this game, it's like, yeah, it's there's too much terrain, if that makes sense. There's not on this specific board, but in general, there is just on boards. There's a lot of terrain, so it affects line of sight a lot. It's not that the playstyle's too fiddly. I can get round about it, but you do need a serious damage booster, as Black Mask has taught me this game. So, because if I had a proper damage booster, like Zaz or someone, I would have made short work of Reaper earlier on, I believe. Yes, Snowy 1, if you're going to put a guy on a height, because he didn't do anything, make sure there's a sewer marker next to him, so that you can get out and be more flexible on the board. Cold is great as always. Snowy 2, I'm not sure. I like the Snowies. I'm just going to have to think about which ones I really want, because I like them, but I don't know, maybe if I've got a serious damage booster, I'll probably be more happier with them, but currently the main weakness of the gang is that it doesn't do much damage output, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to definitely change that by swapping out Frost with somebody else. Which isn't that bad, but if I'm doing a Captain Cold or Killer Frost gang, then I'll probably have them both in and lose Freeze, but I can't have all three of them. I feel it's good. It's frustrating for my opponent, but yes, but it doesn't have the damage output. And you got to think, especially at tournaments, there's a variety of boards around the place, so you haven't, which are all filled with line sight blocking terrain. So with that in mind, I don't think this is the best playstyle. It's definitely, if people want to stick to this playstyle, it's definitely a good one. But for me, I feel for my playstyle, I'm going to need a serious damage booster at least, so I'm going to have to swap Frost out for somebody else, because Cold's very, very good for what he does, especially with the henchmen and stuff. So, like I say, thanks to my opponent for playing. I enjoyed the game very much. It's been a very hefty game with dice rolls being 1s and 2s everywhere. And it has been since turn 1, so it's been absolutely great for that. Very humorous. But yeah, so at the end of the day, it's been a screeching halt, and, well, in the midst of chaos and fire, nobody knows where Nora has went. So, this is the Warpforge with a 350 rep, 1500 grand battle report. Bat match mission 9, the trophy. And if you want to see any more Freeze battle reports, as well as more general Batman Miniatures game battle reports, I'm just playing with Freeze out, getting as much use as I can out of Freeze, then please hit the subscribe button and the notifications icon in the corner. So yeah, there's that. If you like this video and you want to show people how Freeze or Black Mask play, or if you've got a friend who's starting either gang, then please share the video out there, gets the name out there, and it's all good times. So thanks for watching. This is the Warpforge signing off, and remember, keep on forging.
What, the party's already over? But I was just getting warmed up.